What is up, guys? Jarv here, back today, jumping into Destiny 2. Today's Friday, which means XUR is back once again. As you can see, we are on the European Dead Zone again this week. You can head over to the Winding Cove, and if you follow the route that I'm taking, there's a little shortcut here, up in this little cave on this cliffside. Now, XUR is back, so you can deliver a cookie to him now as part of the Dawning. So if you haven't completed that triumph, be sure to pay him a visit so you can get your triumphs done for the event. Nice. Let's have a look and see what goodies he's got. Ooh, something a bit different then. So we'll start off here as we always do. So we've got the exotic Engram. So if your collection is incomplete, this will provide a guaranteed exotic for you. If your collection is already complete though, then it provides a random piece of exotic armor instead. And there are loads of armor pieces available for you to potentially get. If you don't have enough legendary shards, as I pretty much almost don't, you can do this exotic cipher quest here instead to use a cipher at XUR if you wish. Quick skim then, so we've got Jade Rabbit as the weapon of the week, Foe Tracer for you hunters, we've got Severance Enclosure for you titans, and Felwinter's Helm is back for you warlocks. So a quick look in a bit more detail. So the Jade Rabbit, so the Fate of All Fools is the intrinsic trait, so you chain body shots to gain bonus damage on your next precision shot and return ammo to the magazine. One of the strongest scout rifles, especially inside the Crucible, and it's got some pretty nice ornaments too. Scout rifles are in an interesting place. They're definitely not meta. I don't think the maps really help them in that regard. But if you want a really good Jade Rabbit, then if you want a really good scout rifle, then the Jade Rabbit is definitely up there with the best of them. So be sure to pick it up if you don't have it already. Foe Tracer then for you hunters. We've got the Void Affinity 62 stat, and it's weighted towards mobility and resilience this week. Relentless Tracker is the armor's perk, so you visually mark target enemies and you deal more damage to low health marked enemies instead. I've not given these a shot really. I think they're underrated, especially inside the Crucible potentially. I'm pretty sure they would form a part of some interesting builds, so be sure to sound off down below if you have any recommendations. As always, there's the Ornament or 2. They're pretty interesting. It's a little bit overkill, must be cold. But yeah, they're worth picking up. 62 isn't a bad stat roll. So be sure to let me know in the comment section if you have any build recommendations. Severance Enclosure. These don't get used a lot, do they? For the Titans, we've got the Arc Affinity with a 58 stat, so the lowest of the week, weighted towards intellect though. So we've got the Armor's perk where Arc, Solar and Void melee final blows unleash a damaging explosion, and finishers and final blows against more powerful targets increase the radius and damage of the explosion. I think it's a very situational as an exotic. So they don't get a great deal of use. Like you'd never see this in the Crucible, for example. However, it might be something that you would like to experiment with inside PvE. There's no ornaments yet either, sadly, but it is pretty unique in the way that it looks. So if you don't have it, it's definitely worth picking up anyway to add to the collection. And the final one for the week then. So we've got the Felwinter's Helm, Void Affinity 62 stat, weighted towards recovery and strength a little bit there. So Warlord's End, so Arc, Solar and Void melee kills create a burst of energy that weakens nearby enemies. Finishes and kills against more powerful enemies increase the radius of the burst and the length of the weakening effect. I think he sold this once before, and it's a very highly requested exotic in terms of XUR selling it. So if you haven't got one already as a Warlock, then it's definitely worth picking up, and that's not a terrible roll with that weight towards recovery too. No ornaments as always, but it is a fairly new exotic, I guess, the newest that XUR's got this week. So be sure to pick it up if you don't have it. So there we are. That is XUR for the week. I'll be back a little bit later today with a full Trials breakdown, as long as that's not cancelled after 2 games. But so be sure to keep posted on the channel for that. If you have enjoyed this video though, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then you're in the right place, and be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.